Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Dr. Bennett from Compass Training and our goal is to improve the customer experience. Firstly, what is customer service? Find out what a customer wants and give it to them. In this video, we're going to have a look at an example of poor customer service which encompasses a catalogue of errors. This is the story of my neighbour Angela, who recently went out for dinner. Let's see what happened and then we'll go over how this poor experience could have been handled differently. Angela had recently got a promotion and decided to celebrate by treating herself to dinner at a popular restaurant she'd heard great things about from her fellow work colleagues. She arrived at the restaurant on a Saturday evening, excited to try the food that everyone had been raving about. As she walked in, she noticed the restaurant was busy, which she expected for a Saturday night. She approached the desk where it said, "Please wait here to be seated." A disinterested member of staff barely looked up from her phone to acknowledge her, and without a smile, the member of staff mumbled something about a waiting list and told Angela to sit in the cramped waiting area. Angela understood that busy nights could lead to long wait times, but what followed made her experience even worse. She noticed that a group who arrived after her was seated before her. She politely approached the member of staff to inquire about her place on the list. The staff member then curtly told her, "It's first come, first served, and the list doesn't really matter." Angela was quite taken aback by this dismissive response. After waiting for nearly an hour, Angela was finally seated at a small, poorly lit table tucked away in a corner of the restaurant. The server arrived at her table but seemed rushed and disinterested. Angela tried to engage in a pleasant conversation and asked for some recommendations on the menu, but the server gave brief, unhelpful answers. When her food arrived, Angela found it to be overcooked and cold. She decided to give the restaurant the benefit of the doubt and politely asked the server if her dish could be reheated. The server let out an audible sigh and reluctantly took the plate back to the kitchen. By the time her food returned, the rest of her dining experience had already been ruined. She felt like an inconvenience rather than being a valued customer. The server seemed to avoid her table, and when it came time for the bill, it was just plonked on the table without a word or a smile. Angela left the restaurant feeling disappointed and frustrated. She'd heard such great things about the place from her colleagues, but the poor customer service had overshadowed any positive aspects of her dining experience. As she walked out, she couldn't help but think she would never ever return to that restaurant, nor would she recommend it to anyone else she knew. It's great when we get a recommendation about a place to dine, but it sounds like Angela had a very poor experience here. The first impression Angela got was a good one, that the restaurant was busy, and at this point Angela thought she'd made the right decision where to have dinner. However, it's crucial all staff are friendly and helpful, especially those on the front line. The member of staff could have smiled, acknowledged Angela's presence and been honest with her that it may have been about an hour's wait before she got a table. She could also have offered a small drink to Angela while she waited for a table. It's important to make sure any system you use is consistent and clearly communicated to the customer. Is it first come, first served? Is there a list? It's equally important that solo diners are treated the same as couples, families and groups. You never know, that solo diner can potentially be a mystery diner rating and reviewing the business, or they could become a repeat customer bringing back family, friends or work colleagues. The server should always take time with the customer, ask them questions, offer recommendations and inquire if they're a first-time diner with your business. Overall, engage with them and make them feel special. Even if as a server you're having a bad night, remember, never take it out on an individual customer. Always remain polite, friendly and above all, professional. To be honest, it's a shame that the food was poor, but this experience really was a catalogue of errors for Angela. The server should have apologised and reassured Angela that they would bring a replacement dish or ask if she would like an alternative dish from the menu, maybe offer a complimentary drink while a fresh meal is prepared. If you're ever unsure about what you can do to rectify a situation like this Angela found herself in, always check with your manager. I'm guessing at this point in the evening the server was trying to prevent any more interactions with Angela. However, in reality, the server should have stayed in close proximity to double check the meal was now satisfactory and if the customer needed anything else. The server should also acknowledge when giving the bill the poor first meal and apologise while explaining that this meal was complimentary or that you'd included a discount. I'm really not surprised that Angela felt disappointed with her experience of this restaurant and that she never wanted to return or recommend it to her family and friends. However, with a few simple tips, which we've now covered, this whole scenario could have been resolved to Angela's satisfaction. It would be wise for the establishment to implement staff training, especially how to deal with customer complaints, have a service recovery plan in place, and a coherent booking system which is agreed, which is clearly communicated with customers. Now, if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you'll be notified when new videos are made available. And for a masterclass in providing excellent customer care, check out our online course, linked down below in the description box. Until next time, take care.